What's up, sports fans, and welcome to the Sports Opinions Podcast. NFL picks against the spread for week number 9. I'm joined, as always, by my main man, Wally the Million Lira Man, and I gotta say, brother, we were on fire last week with our picks. You're on fire overall with your picks. It's a good day to be on the podcast.
Dude, it's been amazing. I've been on a roll, and it's just going to get better. I feel like I am locked and loaded. I know exactly. I can see the plays. I can see what bets to take. And I'm ready, man. I'm ready to make some money.
Hell yeah. So we're going to jump in, talk about our picks from last week real quick, as we always do, run down the 3 big games, and then our locks. I'm going to start off with you, Wal. You crushed it again. Last week, you were 2 weeks ago, you were 2-1. This week, you're 2-0-1. You have a push in there. You had Texans minus 6.5 against the Dolphins. You hit that as Texans won 42-23. You had the Bears minus 6.5 against the Jets. Bears hit 24-10. And your push was you had Bengals minus 3. Minus 3 against the Bucks, and it was 37-34. 2-0-1 is not bad. That puts you at 14-10-2. You friggin' crushed it, dude.
And the Bengals should have covered. That game was.
If Bizarro Fitzpatrick didn't come in the goddamn game.
Yeah, man. That guy, you know what? I'm done betting with him because I know we were talking about it before. I'm done. I won't pick him anymore because I never know what's going to happen. I never know who's going to show up.
Yeah, you have no clue. He's a mystery, and you know he had a great end of the game last week. They pulled Winston out, which I don't agree with, but that's another podcast. But you don't know what you're going to get with him. But you had another great week. Your record right now is pretty damn good, well over 500. A push isn't a bad thing. But I want to talk about me for a second. I had my first perfect week. Hell yeah, me.
You're learning, young Padawan.
I am slowly. I'm actually listening to you, but I'm going straight up with my pick. So I feel like, I'm not hedging my bets at all, which again, if you're really trying to win money, do it Wally's way. Don't be an asshole like me and just go straight up. But I feel like I am learning a little. So I had Pittsburgh minus 8 against Cleveland. They covered 33-18. Carolina plus 2 against Baltimore. They obviously covered. They kicked the hell out of them 36-21. I had New England minus 14 against Buffalo, which you were doubtful on. You didn't have faith in Tommy Terrific. I did. They covered 25-6. And I had Chicago minus 7 against my Jets, and they beat the hell out of them 24-10. Went 4-0 last week. That brings my record up to 11-22. Still not good, but a lot better than what it was. So I'm confident going into this week. Well,
listen, you weren't nervous watching that game against the Bills?
See, I wasn't because
I had a lot of money on that game. And let me tell you something. When I started seeing what was going on, I was like, I can't believe this. That is such a low-scoring game. They can't score. They didn't score a touchdown till what, like the third quarter?
But it's a typical division game where, the teams know
each other. The Bills, man. Well. It's the Pats against the Bills. The Bills have no offense whatsoever.
Yeah, but they mucked it up on defense, and it was a traditional game. And then once the Bills got tired, the Patriots started railing on them.
Yeah. No, I was happy at the end, but I got a little worried. I'm not gonna lie. I was definitely getting worried about that.
Yeah, well, you know what? We covered great week for us. Overall, we were 6-0-1. I would take that any friggin' day of the week. So good looks for all of us, and hopefully anyone listening out there, hopefully you bet with us last week because we won you some money, and we're going to win you some money again this week. But we're going to talk about the big games first. We run down our 3 big games. We give a little commentary on that, and then we go on. First one I have, Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Baltimore favored minus 2.5. I don't touch AFC North divisional games like this unless Cleveland's really involved because Pittsburgh and Baltimore are just going to beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah. I don't like this game. I'm not going to bet. I'm not going to bet this game at all. I never know what's going to happen between these two teams.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you, honestly. Baltimore's defense is really good. Pittsburgh has an explosive offense. I guess if the way Vegas is looking at it, in the AFC North, what's going to give is the offense. The defense is going to win out. The weather's starting to get a little bit chillier. It's going to be really rainy this week. I think it's going to be the rain is going to get down into Baltimore. So if you're looking at it from Vegas's perspective, you go with the defense over the offense in the AFC North, and that's why I think they're giving the 2.5 to Baltimore. But
Yeah.
I'm with you. I wouldn't touch this with the 20-foot pole.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be. I mean, I'm leaning towards the Ravens a little bit, but I go back and forth with it. You know, Ravens can't run the ball. They can pass again. They can pass the ball pretty well, and especially against Pittsburgh, you know, who has a pretty bad defense going on right now.
They do. And this is a game where if you're a gambler and you have to bet, live bet this one. Watch the game, track where it's going, throw a live bet down. That's the best way I would do that.
There's a lot of games out there that are pretty good picks this week that I would stay away from it.
Yeah, without a doubt. So stay away. We're going to move on. Los Angeles Rams, undefeated Los Angeles Rams, -1 going into New Orleans, which the amount of disrespect going towards Drew Brees all year this year. And the Saints are a one-loss team. You said last week that this game scares you, that this could be the upset that the Rams are waiting for. This is another game I wouldn't bet. What about you?
I actually like the Rams in here. I think the Rams are going to destroy him, to be honest with you.
That would be
I'm not going to bet it because I have 3 other good picks, but if I had to go between 2 of them, I think the Rams are going to light them up.
That would be something to behold. I don't know. I just can't bet against Drew Brees, especially in his home.
Yeah, but the Saints are overrated at home, man.
They are and they aren't, because he's great inside. Drew Brees is absolutely unbelievable indoors. Sean Payton calls a different game. He calls a much more loose game. I don't know. I don't like betting this game, especially against Brees. I don't know. It's a game where just my gut tells me no.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Rams. I would go with the Rams.
Well, the Dante Fowler factor now might drive them up even more. I'm surprised it's only -1.
Yeah, true.
They have a legitimate edge rusher, so the league now just needs to be scared. What's up?
Instead, I forgot about that.
Yeah, the league just needs to just kind of get out of the way. At this point, if Dante Fowler ends up actually coming to form and adapting with the Rams, no one else really has a chance. It's going to be ugly. We're going to run into the next game. Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers goes into New England. New England's favored -6 there. This is a stupid one because I like New England to win, but Aaron Rodgers in the fourth quarter just goes crazy and makes it close.
Dude, when they give Aaron Rodgers a touchdown or more, I have to go with him, man.
Yeah, I ultimately think New England's going to win the game. But they could be down by 14, 21, and Aaron Rodgers is going to score 2 touchdowns and a field goal in that fourth quarter just to beat up your spread. He hates spreads.
Yeah. I mean, the reason I'm a Patriots fan, I told you. I mean, you obviously know.
Yeah.
And I always bet with the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
This one's a tough one, and that's why I didn't want to bet it, because Aaron Rodgers, like you said, in the fourth quarter. Yeah, obviously, if it's 6 points, I'm going to buy it to a touchdown.
Yeah,
you know, and I could see them losing by a touchdown.
Yeah, this is a tough one. There's another one. All 3 of these games, you like the Rams one. I don't like any of these 3 to actually throw a bet on. I think there's better locks this week. If you're looking for games to bet on, these 3 aren't the ones to do it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a really good game.
Hell yeah. I'm with you on that. All right, but you're going to give us your little gentleman locks here. What's your first lock?
The first lock, I'll start with the Bears against the Bills. I think the Bears are going to absolutely destroy the Bills. It's not going to even be a good game to watch. I think it's going to be definitely over 10 points. Obviously, it's the spread is 10. I'll buy it to 9.5, always by the hook. But I think it's going to be like a two touchdown game.
I could definitely see that, especially.
They have zero offense, dude. The Bills have zero offense. Nothing. They got nothing.
You know when the Bills are going to find their offense? When they play my Jets in 2 weeks. But I digress.
You know what? They'll probably beat the Jets.
More than likely, it'll be like 9-7. That'll probably be the end of the game. The Bills will shoot, kick 3 field goals. The Jets will score a touchdown, and that'll be the game.
And dude, they just played. It's a short week for the Bills, and they played the Pats. They're banged up, and that was a hard hitting game. I don't know if you watched it. They were hitting pretty hard.
Oh yeah, the Bills wanted that one. The Bills' defense specifically was flying around the field that first half. They were playing great. They really were.
Trubisky's dude. I don't know.
He's growing. He's maturing, without a doubt. So I like your pick. I definitely could go with the Bears there. I could see that. So we're going to jump over to my first pick here, because we have 2 like picks in the end. So we'll jump over to my pick. I have Kansas City -9 going into Cleveland. As much as I like what Cleveland's been doing, I like their defense. I just like Kansas City. I think Kansas City wins this by a 2-score game, which is why I'm very comfortable going -9 with them.
I don't know, man. You see, I definitely see the Chiefs like beating him, like crushing them. But at the same time, I feel like it's like one of those games where everyone's going to be hammering the Chiefs, and this is where, another loss is going to come from them. Especially the fact the Browns got rid of the coach, they got rid of Hugh Jackson, they got rid of Todd Haley. I feel like that's just going to be more incentive. Like, look at us now. Here we are.
It is, and the game plan that the Browns are going to come out with. They're going to run the football. They're going to try and establish their run because they have 3 talented running backs. Well, 2. They just traded Hyde. They traded Hyde. So they have Chubb and they have Duke Johnson Jr. We're going to get a heavy dose of Nick Chubb. They're going to try and pound the rock and establish the run. Unfortunately for them, there's going to be a lot of 3 and outs. And that's going to just be the nature of the game. Kansas City's defense has proven that they're better than as advertised. And I just think Patrick Mahomes is going to go nuts. I disagree. I think it's going to be kind of a high-scoring game. I think Mahomes is going to, do his thing, and I think Baker Mayfield is going to do his thing too, man. I think the Browns are going to let Baker loose, and the goose is loose, man. I hope so, but I don't see it happening. Not this week. I think eventually, we're going to see Kansas City kind of wear Cleveland down and eventually beat up on them in the second half. First half might be close. Second half, I think, is going to be all Kansas City.
Yeah.
Let's jump on the games that me and you agree with. So we both like Lions at Vikings. We like Vikings -5. What do you like about that game?
The Vikings?
Yeah.
Love them, dude. I think they're going to crush them. I think the games that I picked this week, the line doesn't even justify it. I really do. No. I think the Vikings are going to absolutely crush Detroit.
I agree.
Vikings lost last weekend at a home loss. Terrible loss.
They're going to be angry, and I can't see anyone stopping Adam Thielen. He might be the most dynamic receiver in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I agree.
It's crazy. Yeah, I definitely agree. I like the Vikings. -5, I think, is a low number there. I don't, especially with the Lions getting rid of Golden Tate, I don't know where they're going to find their offense. Galladay's good. Drake is not Drake. Yeah, Kenyon Drake is okay.
Stafford, he's not playing like the way Stafford normally plays.
We may be seeing the decline in the fall of Matt Stafford. Like, he's really deteriorated.
Yeah, this season he's been, especially last week, had a lot of turnovers, a lot of messed up plays.
And this has to fall on Matt Patricia, too. Matt Patricia is not doing the job. He had a ready-made, solid offense there. I have no idea what he's doing with it. He had a franchise quarterback that has been the cornerstone of that team for almost a decade now. And there's no reason Matt Stafford should regress like this unless his career is over. And if that's the case, then he can ride off in the sunset knowing he was just a pretty damn good starting NFL quarterback. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I think this is a huge game for the Vikings, especially coming from a loss. And then I think next week they have a bye.
So this is great to ride in that way.
Exactly. This is a big game for them, and they know it.
Yeah. So
and it's at home. They want to make up for what happened last week.
Without
I like the Vikings. I'm actually really surprised it's not like at least minimum a touchdown. I would say even maybe like 10 points. I'm very surprised that it's only a 5-point. They're favored by only 5 points.
I agree. And also, one thing Minnesota has done, not to harp on this game, though, is with Dalvin Cook either being limited or out, they've kind of given the reins to Latavius Murray until Dalvin Cook is healthy. And Latavius Murray has responded. He's running the ball well like he did when he was a Raider, when he had that one amazing year. He's really running the ball downhill hard, and he's catching the ball very well out of the backfield. They've kind of moved on from Dalvin Cook at this point until he's 100% healthy and can prove to them that he's worthy of being a centerpiece guy like a Todd Gurley or a Leonard Fournette. And that's an interesting thing to see. So the Vikings, again, I think they're going to crush the Lions too, completely in agreement. Let's run on to our next game, which –
Oh, wow. Look at this, just to cut you off for a second.
What's up?
Do you see the score in the 49ers game right now?
No, what is it?
31-3.
Every time we talk, I think the last few podcasts on these Thursday night games, there have been blowout Thursday night games.
Crazy.
It's bad. It's weird. I don't even know who the hell Nick Mullins is, and I love football. Who the hell is Nick Mullins?
Honestly, I never even heard of him before.
Nick Mullins is 5 of 20, 260 yards, 3 touchdowns. Raheem Mostert, I don't know who that running back is, 3 carries, 67 yards, and a touchdown. I do know George Kittle, the receiver, 4 receptions, 108 yards, and a touchdown. You would think the Niners died and came back as the Patriots. I don't know what the hell they're doing. It's really ridiculous. Is this John Gruden's Raiders? Like, John Gruden better have the best draft of all time next year. He really needs to.
Yeah, I mean, he has a lot of picks, so
I think he's going to go with 3 offensive linemen and maybe the rest of the draft defense because he needs to do something. At this point, you pull Derek Carr and you sit him for the rest of the year so he doesn't get hurt.
I agree.
But they're not going to do that because no franchise quarterback wants to sit. Anyway, we're jumping back into the nitty-gritty. Next game we agree on, Texans +1 going into Mile High at Denver. We just like what the Texans bring here. We talked about this. They added Demaryius Thomas. That offense is loaded. Deshaun Watson is moving and grooving again. I think the Texans are going to take a stranglehold on that division this week. They're not in the Broncos division, but they're going to take a stranglehold on the AFC South. I love the Texans. I think +1 is ridiculous. It should be like +15. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I like the Texans a lot here. There's really nothing else that I can say.
The Broncos don't bring anything to the table. They really don't.
No, they don't at all.
Do you think Demaryius Thomas has a massive game since it's against his former team?
I mean, what's that?
Do you think Demaryius Thomas has a massive game since it's against his former team?
I don't think he's going to have a massive game. He still has to, get adjusted to their offense. But I think he's going to have a good game. Who do the Broncos have, man? The Broncos don't have anybody.
They have Emmanuel Sanders and C.J. Anderson, I guess. Case Keenum.
Yeah.
They're not an impressive team right now, and that's sad considering they were in the Super Bowl, what was it, 3 years ago now? 4 years ago? Something like that? It wasn't that long ago. It is sad. All right, and I'm going to give my Jets pick as I always do.
Well, just one note, though.
Go ahead, Wall.
This is being played in Denver.
Yeah, but I have no fear of that.
The altitude, man. I don't know. I always think about that.
I think everyone makes too much of a big deal out of the altitude. We forget that these guys are they have the most advanced technology, the best stadiums, the best everything. These guys are prepared for things like that. I don't think the altitude plays as much of a difference as people like to yuck it up to. These guys are in amazing shape. So
I'm also a degenerate gambler, so I said I'm also a degenerate gambler, so I always look for little things that where I can get the edge.
But the bottom line is, do you think the Texans are going to win?
Yeah, I think the Texans are going to win, definitely.
Okay, so a +1
by 3 points. Yeah, I think we can win by a field goal.
Yeah, without a doubt. All right, so we're going to move on to my Jets pick. I give it every week. My New York Jets traveling into Miami to play your former favorite team, the Dolphins. Dolphins are sitting at -3, and I like that -3. The Dolphins aren't a good team, but the Jets are really injured. The Jets' secondary is terrible because they're very hurt. The defense keeps on standing up and playing well, but I don't know how long they can do that for. They're without Bilal Powell the rest of the year. Their best running back, Crowell, still has an injured ankle. I love Sam Darnold. I think he's going to continue to grow and mature, but I just think Miami's going to win this game. -3, I think, is generous right now. I just think the pass rush is going to kill them like they did in week 1, and the Jets are going to lose by more than a field goal.
Yeah, I feel like that game, the Jets-Dolphins game, I feel like they both always show up. for that rivalry. And I think Dolphins are going to – and Dolphins are at home, right?
Yeah, it's in Miami.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be – I think the Dolphins are going to win.
Without a doubt. And you can pretend you're a Dolphins fan for a week again.
No, I mean, listen, I said it and I'll say it again. If the Dolphins and the Pats played in the AFC Championship game, I would 100% root for the Dolphins.
But you would probably bet the Pats in that line because the Pats would probably be favored with a very nice line.
Exactly.
All right.
Money goes, man.
Just to recap again, Wally likes the Bears minus 9.5 going into Buffalo. He likes the Vikings minus 5 at home against the Lions and the Texans plus 1 going into Denver. We both agree on Minnesota and Houston. I like Kansas City going into Cleveland minus 9, and I like Miami defending home turf against my Jets minus 3. Anything else you want to add, Wal?
No. Just other than that, just follow me on Twitter at Lira Man. And I'm giving a lot of picks out, and they're winning big time.
Yeah,
I'm about to go 6-2 tonight.
There you go. Yeah, you have been killing it. You have like a 15-2 day over the weekend this past weekend or something? You had something ridiculous.
No, my NBA picks have been 1-1 for the last week. So,
and remember, this is a guy that said 2 weeks ago that he really didn't bet NBA, and now he's crushing it. So let's. I
mean, it's not about. You don't have to follow the sport, man. You really don't. You got to look at the lines. You got to follow certain things that are going on. You don't really have to like the sport in order to bet on it. I used to bet on tennis. I had known nothing about tennis, and I would bet on tennis.
I love tennis.
You would.
But all right, so everyone, yeah, definitely go at Million Lira Man Wally. He's giving away his picks of the day, the Million Lira locks, and they have
I'm 3-0 with the Million Lira lock. I don't give those out much often. Usually they're just, when I see a play that I really, really like, that's the Million Lira lock, and that bet the house on it. Today I had was it today? I don't know if it was today or yesterday. I think it was yesterday. I had the Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah, I think that was yesterday.
Yeah, they were plus 180.
Yeah, and you grabbed that one.
For every $100, you win $180, and that was a really, really nice underdog that hit. And then I think this morning I had the Jets, the Winnipeg Jets. It was a game out in Finland. They're doing that NHL Global Series where they have like a couple of games in Finland and over in Europe, and yeah, the Jets won. So that was my first pick of the day. And I have a couple of hockey picks going out right now. And yeah, follow me on Twitter. I have a lot of picks going out. And hopefully you bet them because I've been making a lot of money.
Yeah, so Wally's killing it. And continue to listen weekly to get the picks of the week. Me and Wally are rolling. We were just off a hot week. We're going to continue that. I got confidence in that. Follow me on his Twitter and Instagram, _Cuesta30. Follow Sports Opinions on Twitter at SportsOpinion30. Instagram, SportsOpinions30. Visit the Facebook page. Find us on podcast. You can listen anywhere virtually. Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, and now getting added. Stitcher is added, and TuneIn is going to add us shortly. So we have 2 more outlets. TuneIn, one of the biggest ones on the planet. So there's no excuse not to listen. We are everywhere this week.
You could also find me on I don't know if you know about this app called Action Network.
No, what is that?
It's basically a betting app. It's on all like Apple, Android. It's even on a website. You can go and look it up, and you can follow me on there at Million Lira Man. And basically it shows you exactly when I put my picks in and what those picks are, and you can follow those picks through there. And usually I post them after, the games start. So this way you can follow along. And yeah, it's a great app. I love it because it gives you actually live, like it'll tell you, like they have like a green dot. If your bet is winning, it'll show you a green dot. So you don't have to keep checking the score. You look at the dot. Oh, my bet's winning. You put your phone away. It's perfect.
That's awesome. So yeah, go follow him there too. You can follow his bets so you'll know that he's killing it as he always does. So again, this was the NFL picks against the spread for week 9. Alex Cuesta, Wally the Million Lira Man. Hope you guys good betting, good luck, have a good one.